A huge thank you to Paradox Interactive for sponsoring today's video by providing me with a key to Apocalypse and Humanoids. What's up guys, it's Rantium here, and today we are back once again in Stellaris Console Edition taking a look at everything Humanoids. Now, Humanoids dropped alongside its counterpart Apocalypse, and I have been beyond excited to receive it as a DLC. Now, Humanoids does not change anything gameplay, it only changes aesthetic. As you can see here in front of you, we have a lot more portraits for us to take a look at and play around with as our Humanoids can be. So, I'll just go ahead and briefly scroll through each of these portraits to give you a couple seconds to take a look at all of them, because they are all very unique and they're all very humanoid in nature. It's very, very cool how a lot of them, they have different clothing, they have different headpieces, they have different facial structures, they have different colors, everything like that. Some of them look to be taken straight out of a, a fantasy game. This one looks like it was taken straight out of a sushi restaurant. This one looks like it was taken out of Mass Effect Andromeda, and this one, obviously, we know what this is from, right? No, we don't. But all three of these are very, very cool. You got the Cyclops, the Space Orc, and the Space Dwarf. Very, very cool to have all three of these in here. The Cyclops, yeah, they're kind of ugly, but it's very cool to have all of these different humanoid portraits and everything like that. But then we also have our different city appearances, and the city appearances in the background, they're fairly interesting in the grand scheme of things. You know, with the plantoids, you've got, the plants. Mammalians, that's very square. Same thing with the reptilians. Avians are very pointy. Molluscoids are cones. Arthropoids are weird, and then fungoids are funguses. But the humanoids kind of almost looks like they're curved, like one of the structures in Dubai. Kind of looks like that all over the planet's surface. It's a really neat way of seeing that. But then we get to the best part, objectively the best part in my opinion, and that's the ship appearance. The humanoid ships are among the sexiest ships that you have in the game. They are a far cry from the mammalian ships. They are very sleek, they are very Star Wars almost, and they are very fun to play around with. But let's go ahead and break each of those down in depth inside of the game itself. So here we begin with our little Corvette, and this one is spec'd out with the Devastator torpedoes as well as the small plasma cannons and everything like that, but we won't be looking at the loadouts so much as we'll be looking at the actual ship themselves. Now keep in mind, each of these ships has different ways that the ship is going to look. The missile boat looks a little bit different from the Interceptor, and the Interceptor looks a little bit different than the picket ship. They each have their own little spots, but these are so quintessentially Star Wars, I love it so much. They do remind me of the smaller, Corvette style, maybe the Quentin light cruiser and everything like that, but it is just really, really cool. Not to mention they just look so sleek and they're just so nice. I will say the little missile pods on top look a little strange. They look like eyes. Oy, oy, oy. But it is a really, really cool. Not to mention the color schemes on these things look awesome. But the Corvette is overall, everyone knows the Corvette is the fucking powerhouse of the fleet, because if you can have 1 million of them and they're expendable, cheap to build, and they can reproduce like bunnies. It's crazy. Then we come to the Destroyer, and the Destroyer obviously looks a little bit more segmented, almost as if it's just had two pieces, like, mushed together. It's a little strange, but you can indeed change the way that looks with, the gunship, the picket ship, and the artillery bow, as well as the picket ship stern, the interceptor stern, and the gunship stern. But this one I tend to run because it has the picket, point defense and stuff like that. Not the most, fleet power heavy destroyer, but it certainly gets the job done when fighting strike craft as well as combating missiles. But I just love the way this looks. All of the humanoid ships just look so, so good. Then we come to Big Papa himself, the Cruiser. Now the Cruiser looks really cool. This looks like it should be on the ocean as an aircraft carrier or something like that, Just looks so damn cool. With the addition of having the hangar bays on the inside of it, it's a really, really cool way, especially because it has that little tower in the middle. Not the gun tower, but the kind of air traffic control tower. But you can also change these. You can make it a little bit more narrow in the front, maybe have a little bit of a, blunted front right there, and then kind of a nose cone right there. And then there's different cores that you can have right there. The hangar core is definitely one of my favorites, and then you've got the two different sterns bringing up the back. But it definitely is an aircraft carrier as much as it is a spaceship, and I love that. Then we've got Big Papa, the battleship. Although I should say it's Big Papa's little brother, little uncle, because Big Papa comes next. Now the battleships, they're a little less Star Destroyer and a little bit more Arrowhead, honestly. They kind of look like arrows. But this one is not taking any use of the extra large spinal mount. The only one that I'll show you is the spinal mount one, because that does change it quite a lot, and it adds something very, very cool to the design. And we can go ahead and come and take a look at that. Just look at that giant space in the middle. I love that so much. Now we've had XL weapons on different, portrait ships and, ships, the different packs and everything like that, but the humanoid ships, they just look so damn good. But then we come to Big Papa, and that's the Titan. Now the Titan, as we've all been waiting for, has come with Apocalypse, and this is the only way to get it within the Humanoids pack as well. The Titan. You don't even need to talk about it because it's just incredible. This thing, I love the Titan so damn much. In every single species pack, there's a different looking Titan, but this is so quintessentially Halo. It reminds me of something that the Covenant would use. It almost looks like one of the bigger Corvettes ships, maybe the one that shoots the beam straight down onto the planets. It's just so cool. I love this so much. But we also do get the Titan weapons, which is the Perdition Beam. And boy howdy is it fun to use. But then we come to the grandpappy of everyone, and that is the defense platform. No, I'm kidding. No, but the defense platform is pretty cool too. It has a whole lot of different modules that you can have. You can have a whole bunch of these different ones. I tend to run the hangar ones just because it adds a lot more to the fleet power, and the AI might think twice about coming up against you. But then we come to the ion cannon, which is not Big Grandpappy, but it's the precursor to the Big Grandpappy. So this comes with Apocalypse. And these are the ion cannons. These are your capital ship destroyers because they come with Titan weapons. Perdition beams will be slapped onto these things that you can go ahead and put around all of your spaceports. Now keep in mind, they're not very accurate, they are very accurate against big ships. Going up against a swarm of Corvettes, you're kind of screwed. But big ships with a nice little mixture of the defense platforms is a great way to defend key strategic points. But then we get to Big Grandpappy, the wonderful Colossus. Now you knew where I was going with this, didn't you? Well, look at that damn thing. It looks like a flower. Except the people on the planet below you, they're probably not going to look up and think it looks like a flower. It's going to be like more of a sky anus that's about to let loose all of its garbage on top of you. The Colossus on everything looks amazing. But the Humanoids one just looks so sleek. It looks like a damn escape pod or something like that. It's so cool. I love it so much. And it is amazing. It's a lot of fun to use, and it's a wonderful little cherry on top to your entire species fleet and everything like that. So those are your humanoid ships, your species pack, as well as your the cities as well. And we can go and take a look at one of my developed cities. In fact, we'll take a look at the capital. Up there on the top, you can kind of see that. You've got a whole bunch of those cool little buildings up there, maybe on the habitats. Oh yeah, you don't see those on the habitats, but there you go. That looks a little bit better instead of having the Tomb World backdrop. But I will say, at Humanopolis, they look really cool. The only way to get into Humanopolis is to get the First League homeworld or the homeworld of the Materialist Fallen Empire. But they do look pretty nice. And this is what they look like in-game. We can take a look at them as much as we want in the ability to, rotate them around, but you can see we've got our nice little intermixture of Corvettes and destroyers, and then we've got some cruisers, and then Big Papa, Big Grandpappy Colossus himself, with the Titan kind of pulling up the back right there. They're all kind of intermingled with one another, and then we've got our big boys, the battleships. So hopefully everyone is excited to finally have the humanoid ships. They were worth the wait in my opinion, and they are just a joy to look at. But let me know, will you guys be picking up humanoids? If so, are you enjoying the way that they look? Have you already had humanoids on PC and just love to see what they look like on Xbox? Because I gotta say, they look pretty damn good. But guys, let me know what you think down there in the comment section. I'd love to hear what you guys have to think and have to say. And if you're looking for any more Stellaris content here on the channel, you can always check it out. We have playlists, we've got all sorts of videos, and if you're looking for anything else from anyone else, check in the description. There's plenty of people down there that make great content centered around Stellaris. So guys, until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.